Oh no, my jam sandwich! I'm like the least professional YouTuber ever. Eating a jam sandwich, actually jam, peanut butter and Nutella. But it was like slopping out and went on my tissue box because I don't have a table. And I needed to put it down somewhere while I set up this camera business. So I'm just going to eat this while I talk to you. I really hate the sound of masticating, and I was really conscious of the sound that I was going to make them. But sometimes I get in trouble for saying masticating. It sounds like a different word, doesn't it? And when you work in a little school, a school with little children, they say things are wrong all the time. So hi darlings, I think it's been a little while, hasn't it? I used to feel really guilty about like missing a week or whatever with YouTube. Now I think we've got to the stage where, you know, I'm inconsistent, but I'll come back eventually and then we'll have a couple more videos in a row and then I'll be inconsistent again. And it's basically the reason is I live in a different continent. I really like to explore and I really like to enjoy my life, and when I work 60 odd hours a week, I just don't want to make YouTube videos all the time. And you're okay with that because you don't really have a choice any other way. The main body of this video is that I want to teach you tips and tricks of how to learn languages easier. I myself am learning 3 languages at the moment because I'm mental, I guess. I work in a school where we only really speak Putonghua, which is Mandarin. I live in Hong Kong where they speak Cantonese, and I want to move to France, so I'm learning French. And so because of that, I've had to learn like easy ways to do it. Like I can't sit down and have a tutor and like do that, and it's expensive, and a lot of people don't have like the resources to do that unless you're in school, in which case if you're in school, please learn your languages. It's so important and you'll regret it so much when you get older. I was so good at languages in school and I didn't take it as a GCSE because I didn't want to have to take extra exams. Oh dear. So my first tip is get a learning languaging app. The best one that I've found so far, and I've done a couple, Mind Snacks, although that one kind of crashed on me. I don't know if that's just an individual thing that happened, but that's really good. It has lots of fun games and stuff, and I do that like in my spare time. But then also Duolingo. Duolingo I cannot recommend higher. I just wish they had more languages on it. It's super easy. You go through like different stages. I think I'll show you mine. I'm not being sponsored by Duolingo. I should also say that. I'm not being sponsored. I just really like it. So here you go. I've got like my basics. Basic 2 phrases, food, animal, adjectives, possessives, plurals, être, avoir, and now I'm on clothing. And then you have all these things and it goes like all different aspects of what you'd learn, but they build up on it. Duolingo's really funny because it makes you say really silly sentences like I've been said, I like women. The women are nice. The women are pretty. And it's like Duolingo's trying to force me out of the closet. Like, Ali, you like women, just admit it. Come on, it's in a foreign language. You don't need to say it anywhere else. So I would recommend getting an app like that, but then on top of that, these are like my main tips for learning a language. Number 1, a really fun way to learn a language is to watch one of your favourite films, like one that you can just quote off the back of your hand, or like maybe a favourite TV show. I know for Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Friends, like Bridget Jones's Diary, and like a bunch of different movies like that. I know them off the back of my hand. I quote off the time. If it's Christmas, pick a Christmas movie because you see the same 12 films every single year. Pick that and put it in subtitles for the language that you're learning. So I learn French, and so you know what you're hearing, but then you can also like read, and it gives you like confirmation if like, oh, that's what I thought it would be. The other way around that is when you get like a little bit better, you can watch a French film with English subtitles. You would recognise the words, and then you also see them down at the bottom just to give you again confirmation that, yeah, that is what I thought it would be. That's good. You can also read like the books in foreign languages, like one of your favourite books that you know off the back of your hand, like maybe like The Fault in Your Stars, because this is the internet, or 50 Shades of Grey if you just want to make a shit book better. But I wouldn't really do that unless you're proficient, because you'll keep having to like look back on words and it just takes too long. The easiest way that I would do with books is take children's books, because children's books are just very like, this is what's on the picture. A cat goes to school. The cat has friends. So you just have simple sentences, but you learn how the sentences are structured. And so I find that it's a very like useful way of doing it. I mean, I work in a foreign languages school, and so I have lots of access to children's book in foreign languages. I don't know how comfortable you feel going into a bookshop, but there's also the wondrous invention of Kindles, and oh my gosh, I can't express how much I love my Kindle. I have a Kindle Fire and it has a function on it. I don't know about any of the Kindles, but if you tap on a word then it'll give you the definition and it'll send you to Wikipedia for some things, but it also has Translate, and so if you're reading a word that you see come up often enough and you're like, I'm not sure what that word is, click on it, Translate. Wow, I did that for The Book Thief. Amazing, amazing. I can't recommend it higher enough. I think it's super. Another really useful tip is, and I'm not sure if anyone has these resources because I live in Hong Kong, which is a really like cosmopolitan place where there's loads of different people, but join a site called meetup.com. Again, not being sponsored, I just think it's super duper duper. But you join up things that you're interested in and like things that you like. So I have one for like social media, I have one for wine obviously, one for dancing, and then there's also like language exchanges. And so it's usually like groups of expats, so like French people will meet up every Tuesday in Hong Kong, and then they'll talk French and do French things and go to French restaurants, and it's wonderful. It's a way for you not to just learn the language but for you to learn the culture of that place as well. And they might do different things, like I'm just basing this off Hong Kong, but it's a great way to do it. So if you live in a city, super. If you live in the sticks in the middle of nowhere, probably not as useful. And my final tip is, once you've got to like a proficient level in learning your language, watch comedy. Watch stand-up comedians in the language that you're learning, because if you laugh, then well done, you know the joke, you know the language. Good job. So yeah, those are my easy tips for learning languages. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you hopefully next week with a video with Hannah Witten. So I just want to ask you a question. I really like talking to you guys in like the comments down below, and I feel like if I don't ask a question, it's not because I want comments, but it's like because I want to talk to you. I want to know, do you learn any languages? Like, how do you find learning languages? Would you like to learn a language? Let me know your thoughts on learning languages and like how easy or hard you find it. Let me know if you find these tips helpful or unhelpful. I'd like to just get to know you guys. I feel like there's been a big jump in my subscribers recently, and I feel guilty because I haven't been uploading videos, but I also really like to get to know you guys. I don't know how to end videos.